Imagine this, a woman who was fed up with the injustice she felt every day, someone who had been pushed to her limits. Picture her walking up to a courthouse, not just to face a judge, but to make a statement that would echo through the legal system forever. Her name? Karen. An everyday name, right? But the kind of chaos she was about to unleash? That was anything but ordinary. On that fateful day, Karen had a history with the court, with the legal system that seemed to be working against her. There were those who called her crazy, entitled, even a villain, but none of that mattered anymore. She wasn't there to be misunderstood. She was there to take control in a way that no one ever expected. No one knew just how deep the cracks ran in her mind. No one could foresee what was about to unfold. When the courtroom doors opened, all eyes turned to her. She walked in, head high, no fear in her stride. But the event that followed was as shocking as it was dramatic. 3 gunshots rang out, echoing cold and final, aimed at the very judge who had ruled against her in the past. But it wasn't just about the bullets. No, Karen wasn't done yet. After the shots, she walked into that courtroom not as a criminal, but as a conqueror. And she was about to destroy careers that had been built over years, careers she believed had wronged her. But why did she do it? What drove her to such extreme measures? And who was she really? The story didn't end with those bullets. It was just the beginning of a much bigger, much more complex battle. Who would win in the end? And would Karen be able to live with what she started? This story doesn't just question the boundaries of the law, it makes you wonder just how far someone will go when they've been pushed too far. Stay tuned as we dive deeper into the madness that was about to unfold and explore the shocking truth behind Karen's motive, the power of the court, and the consequences of a single devastating act. The moment those bullets struck, the world seemed to freeze. The courthouse, once a symbol of justice and order, now stood as a chaotic reminder of just how fragile that system could be. Karen had always been a person who felt as if she was standing on the edge of a cliff, her every step leading her closer to a breaking point that no one saw coming. But was it the judge who had pushed her to this moment? Or was there something deeper, something more personal that had been building up inside her for years? To understand why Karen did what she did, we need to rewind a bit. She wasn't always the Karen we think of today. In fact, there was a time when she was just a regular woman with a regular life, living in a regular neighborhood. But life, as it tends to do, threw her some curveballs. First, it was the HOA, the neighborhood association, that ruled with an iron fist. They told her what color she could paint her house, how tall her grass could grow, and even how many guests she could have over at any given time. Karen's frustration grew, and each small injustice felt like a personal attack. Things escalated when a dispute over a property line was brought to court. The judge overseeing her case was none other than Judge Thomas McAllister, a man with a reputation for being stern, unyielding, and to many, a symbol of the very system that Karen despised. McAllister ruled against her, siding with the HOA in a way that felt like a slap in the face. She was livid. How could he, of all people, ignore the truth of her case? How could he back an organization that she saw as the very definition of corporate corruption? But this wasn't just about the court ruling. It was about a deeper, more painful history. Karen's entire life had been filled with battles that no one seemed to care about. She had fought for recognition, for justice, for her voice to be heard. And every time she was dismissed or belittled, that anger simmered beneath the surface, waiting for the right moment to erupt. Judge McAllister, in her eyes, had become the symbol of everything wrong with the system. As she sat in her home, surrounded by papers and legal documents, Karen's thoughts grew darker. She started researching everything she could about Judge McAllister, his background, his career, his connections. She wanted to know more about the man who had so easily dismissed her as if she were nothing more than a nuisance. The more she learned, the more she became convinced that he was corrupt, that his rulings were influenced by power and money rather than justice. And so, when the day came for her to appear before him again, she was no longer the woman who had once trusted the system. No, Karen was a woman on a mission, one that would shake the foundations of everything she had come to despise. She wasn't going to let him win again. Not this time. The gunshots rang out, breaking the tense silence in the courtroom. But what happened next was far from predictable. Rather than running or hiding, Karen walked into that same courtroom with a chilling sense of purpose. It was as if she knew that, no matter what happened, she had already won. Her confidence was unnerving, almost as if she was in control of the entire situation. But why did she strut into the court? What did she intend to do next? And how would the legal system, so confident in its power, respond to someone who had just thrown its authority back in its face? The answers to those questions were about to unfold in a way that no one expected. As the dust settled, Karen's actions began to take on a life of their own. The courtroom was in utter chaos. Lawyers scrambled to help the wounded judge, while others rushed to contain the situation. Security guards flooded the room, but Karen wasn't running. She wasn't trying to escape or cover up her actions. No, she was standing tall in the center of it all, looking around as if she had been waiting for this very moment her entire life. It was hard for anyone to understand. How could someone who had been wronged by the system respond in this way? What had driven her to take such extreme measures? And more importantly, why did she seem so certain that this would work? Karen's past began to resurface, like old ghosts haunting her every step. She had always been labeled as a Karen, a term that had become synonymous with entitlement, aggression, and at times irrationality. But she wasn't just some woman yelling at a manager or complaining about neighbor's lawn. She had a history. She had a story that no one cared to listen to. For years, Karen had tried to work within the confines of the law, to challenge the injustices she faced in ways that were acceptable to society. But the more she fought, the more she realized that the very system she was trying to work within was stacked against her. The courts, the HOA, the judges, they were all part of the same corrupt machine. And when it all finally came crashing down, Karen had no choice but to fight back in the only way she knew how. But her actions, while extreme, were just the beginning of a larger conflict that was about to unfold. This wasn't just about Karen taking down one judge, it was about taking down an entire system that she believed had failed her and so many others. And as she walked into that courtroom, her every move felt like a statement that said she wasn't afraid of the consequences. But what was Karen planning to do next? Was she trying to destroy Judge McAllister, or was she going after something far bigger? There were hints in her eyes, in the way she held herself, a deeper purpose driving her that no one could fully grasp. The tension was building, and the stakes were higher than ever. Would Karen's quest for justice lead her to victory, or would the system push back harder than she could ever anticipate? The battle was only beginning. The room fell into chaos. People screamed, some running for cover, others rushing to help the injured judge. The gunshots echoed off the high ceilings, a grim reminder of the violence that had just taken place. But there she stood, Karen, seemingly unfazed by the madness that had unfolded around her. She wasn't in a hurry. Her movements were deliberate, each step taken with the confidence of someone who had already seen the outcome, someone who had already made peace with whatever consequences were coming. Security guards flooded the courtroom, but Karen remained calm, her eyes never leaving the judge. She watched as medical personnel rushed to McAllister's side, but her expression didn't waver. This wasn't about the injury. It wasn't about hurting someone physically. It was about sending a message to the court system, to every person who had ever belittled her, dismissed her, or ignored her. She was going to make them all feel her pain. "Get down! Get down!" shouted a security officer as he made his way toward her, but Karen didn't flinch. She slowly raised her hands above her head, her fingers splayed wide, showing no sign of fear or remorse. In the hushed silence that followed, all eyes were on her. Karen had always been underestimated, written off as someone with too much time on her hands, a woman with a loud voice and no real power. But here she was, standing in the epicenter of a storm she had created, and no one knew how to stop it. The officers moved quickly, surrounding her, hands ready to cuff her. But before they could make their move, Karen spoke. Her voice was steady, unwavering. "You're too late," she said. "This isn't about me anymore. It's bigger than that." Her words sent a chill through the officers, and for a moment, they hesitated. They didn't know what she meant. What was she talking about? Why did it feel as though she had already won? As they moved in to arrest her, she looked toward the judge's desk. "You're all part of a corrupt system," she continued, her eyes narrowing as she spoke. "You think you can just push people down and get away with it? Well, I've had enough." For the first time, the officers hesitated. They had been trained to respond quickly, but there was something about Karen's demeanor, her calm, controlled presence, that made them second-guess themselves. Was she just a woman on the edge, or was she a force to be reckoned with? One of the officers stepped forward, handcuffs ready, but before he could reach her, Karen took a step back, her eyes never leaving the judge's desk. She had a plan, and she was about to execute it. In that moment, her eyes flicked toward a document she had placed on the judge's desk earlier in the day. The paper, just an ordinary legal document, had suddenly become something much more significant, a weapon in her larger battle. The officers moved in closer, but Karen wasn't about to let them take her without saying her piece. "You think this is over?" she asked, her voice rising. "You think I'm just some woman who made a mistake? You've all underestimated me. But I'm done playing by your rules. It's my turn now." She paused, her eyes shifting toward the crowd of onlookers in the back of the courtroom. The moment felt like it was suspended in time, the world holding its breath to see what she would do next. But the officers weren't having it anymore. They lunged forward, grabbing her arms and forcing her to the ground. It was over, or so they thought. As Karen was dragged out of the courtroom, her mind was already working, already thinking 3 steps ahead. She knew that arresting her would only make things worse for the court system, for Judge McAllister, and for everyone who had ever underestimated her. The battle was far from over. In fact, it had just begun. Karen was taken to the holding cells in the courthouse, but no one could ignore the impact of her actions. Her name spread like wildfire. News, outlets, social media platforms, and even bloggers who'd never paid attention to her before were suddenly following every detail of her arrest. Her name, once synonymous with irritation and annoyance, was now associated with rebellion and defiance. She had become a symbol of something bigger than herself, a symbol of everything that was wrong with the system, but no one knew what Karen was really planning. The shooting had been dramatic, but it was clear that her goal wasn't just to get attention. She wanted to expose something, and when the news outlets started reporting on the background of her case, they began to uncover the tangled web of corruption and mismanagement that Karen had been fighting for years. It all came back to the HOA. Karen had always known that they were more than just a neighborhood association. She had suspected for years that the people behind it were making backdoor deals with the local government, with judges, with anyone who could further their interests. She had fought to expose these practices, but had been ignored. Now, with McAllister's name tied to her case, things were about to get much worse for him. But Karen wasn't done yet. While the world was focused on her actions, she was building her case from the inside. In the holding cell, she had access to her own lawyer, a sharp young attorney who had taken an interest in her case after hearing her story. Together, they started digging deeper, going after the connections McAllister had, the relationships he'd formed with the HOA, and every shady deal they could uncover. They weren't going to let this die. They knew that if they could expose McAllister's ties to the HOA, they could bring down the entire system that had controlled Karen for so long. But it wasn't just about revenge. It was about justice. For Karen, this was her one shot to make everything right, and she was determined to make sure it counted. Days passed, and the pressure on McAllister mounted. The media began to pick up on the story, but Karen and her lawyer were careful not to make too many moves too quickly. They knew they had to be strategic careful. They needed the right time, the right moment to strike. But then, something unexpected happened. A new piece of evidence surfaced. An email, a chain of messages between Judge McAllister and key figures within the HOA discussing the very case Karen had fought so hard to bring to light. This was it, the smoking gun that could take everything down. And with that, Karen knew the game had changed. The stakes were higher than ever. Now, it was a matter of timing. One wrong move, and everything could crumble. The tension in the air was palpable as Karen's lawyer prepared to release the damning evidence to the public. But they still didn't know the full extent of McAllister's connections or what kind of retaliation they could face. It wasn't just about winning anymore. It was about survival. As the legal team prepared for their next move, Karen couldn't shake the feeling that there was more at play than anyone had realized. The email was just the beginning. She knew that McAllister and the HOA were likely involved in far more than anyone had uncovered so far. The network of power, corruption, and influence stretched much deeper than the courtrooms, and Karen's eyes were now open to just how vast it all was. The media frenzy had reached its peak, but the legal battle had only begun. Karen's lawyer had been working day and night, piecing together the full scope of the scandal, while Karen, sitting in that holding cell, had time to think and plan. She knew that her actions had already started a chain reaction. The question was, would the system allow her to finish it? McAllister was under intense pressure. His reputation, his career was on the line, but he had powerful friends, connections that were still in the shadows, waiting for the right moment to protect him. But no one had expected Karen to be so persistent, so thorough. She wasn't going to back down now. Then, as the legal team prepared to go public with their findings, something happened that none of them had anticipated. A sudden twist, a revelation that could change everything. The stakes were rising, and the story was far from over. Would Karen's investigation be the key to bringing down the corruption, or would the very system she sought to dismantle close ranks and protect its own? Only time would tell. Karen's plan had always been about more than just retaliation. It was about revealing the truth, exposing the darkest corners of the system she had once trusted. The evidence, once in the hands of the press, became a public bombshell. McAllister's ties to the HOA were undeniable, and it sent shockwaves through the legal world. With the case now in the public eye, things quickly escalated. McAllister's allies started to distance themselves from him. Law enforcement launched an investigation, and suddenly the courtroom wasn't the only place where battles were being fought. The media played a huge part, but Karen knew it wasn't enough to just have the truth out there. She needed a full public trial. Her lawyer, now under enormous pressure, worked tirelessly to push for criminal charges. The corruption that had been ignored for so long was being exposed piece by piece, and soon it was clear that Karen wasn't just fighting for herself. She was fighting for everyone who had been ignored or shut out by the system. But even as her story was making headlines, Karen couldn't help but wonder, what would happen to her once this was all over? Would she be seen as a hero, or just a dangerous woman who'd taken matters into her own hands? As the trial began and McAllister stood in front of a judge for the first time, the truth became undeniable. The entire foundation of the legal system had been shaken. But as the final moments of the case drew closer, Karen knew one thing for sure. She had started something that could never be undone. The truth was finally out, and now the world would have to reckon with it.